Okay, so this is our first live session where I'll be interacting with you guys and helping you answer the top 25 bridal makeup questions that you might have about bridal makeup trial. Okay, so these are all sources of this question are from the Instagram comments that you have made on channels, on Instagram pages here and there, and have been left unanswered for a while. Okay. Okay. So the very first question is, do you offer makeup trials and are they included in the packages or charged separately? Okay. So we have to take this a bit back from this. So over here we have to take it just a bit back regarding how people have been doing and booking their makeup artists. So before the wedding, the very first question that arises in people's mind is, photos. And with photos, the problem being, what happens is we generally use Instagram as our primary source and look up for photos here and there about how flawless this makeup is looking and how good this image is. But have you ever thought of that makeup photos can anyways be edited to the extent that you wouldn't ever be able to see that makeup in real life? So if you just want to do it for photos, you can go for any makeup artist. But if you really want to get a realistic idea of how the bridal makeup is going to be, you have to take a makeup class. And with us getting makeup trials with us, what happens during a makeup trial? And are they included in the packages or charged separately? Coming back to the question, makeup trials are generally the key part in making sure that your wedding makeup stays and about the packages for charge separately, that depends. The very first level of makeup artist can start is they don't provide it. Yes, you heard it. Because they are very scared about getting the makeup correct on the trial date is spoiling it on the wedding. So the excuse they generally give is मैं तो ट्रायल नहीं देखती हूँ क्योंकि वेडिंग डे के ऊपर ही बेस्ट रिजल्ट आता है. This part is right that wedding day के ऊपर the result is completely good. But when you're talking about not giving the trial, it completely eliminates them from getting any idea about how the makeup looks in real life. So what you're doing is randomly angel makeup एक person के ऊपर अच्छा हो जाता है. So now you're getting all the things. The boosted and very same makeup repeat करने बोले, so you have no idea. That means you're doing random things, right? Which you don't even have an idea yourself. Else, if you are a professional, you get trained in such a way that you at least remember the to how and what kind of makeup steps and techniques and products to use so that you're able to recreate that on the beginning. because promising that is something anyone can do. But what happens when you are not able to replicate it again and again? That means that the professionalism is missing somewhere else. Now we'll be moving on to makeup trials being the most important piece to start. And depends the level too that we can come to. These people provide makeup trial but generally keep the charges so high that it becomes absolutely unaffordable and unreasonable to take the trial. Some people charge 6,000, some people we have even consulted and not. They charge the whole wedding price because makeup तो वही लगने वाला है. That part is right. But the purpose over here is completely different. You're not getting the trial done for your wedding. You're getting it just to get an idea. Wedding day, there are no mishaps here, and there is no expectation with that. So I think that is completely unfair to charge the wedding day amount. Although charging a bit of the amount is completely fine. A reasonable amount and giving trial is completely fine. And that is something that a lot of makeup artists should start giving. And whether they include in the package or not depends on the charge that they are. And it's better to keep it separate because that eliminates you from taking a bad decision. Just because आपने एक ट्रायल ले लिया है एंड वो चार्ज जनरेट हो जाएगा doesn't mean कि आपको उसी मेकअप आर्टिस्ट से करवाना है. But because of the budget issues that currently people have, उसकी वजह से करना पड़ता है. So that is something which is more of a beautiful thing rather than a choice. Because trial and choosing your makeup artist is a choice that you should always have. And then we move on to generally a good amount of charge can be somewhere around 2000 or 1000 rupees at max. इसके अंदर थोड़ा बहुत आपका traveling cover हो जाए and आपको full flight मिलने वाला है. If you have the confidence in yourself as a makeup artist कि you can get that trial done and make the artist book with the service, with the kind of service that you provide. So then it's just one step away from you getting booked. Providing trials इतना बड़ा issue नहीं होना चाहिए for the makeup artist from my perspective. Okay, we'll jump on to the second question. Where is there any doubts with anyone? So you can comment in the chat and I'll help you with that. There is a chat box where you can comment your doubts and I'll be helping you with that. So anytime you feel like it, you can comment. Okay. How much does a bridal makeup cost? This is the second question we will be there. And is it adjusted against the final savings? Now, bridal makeup trial cost ranges from 1,000 rupees to going to a full-fledged 20, 30, 40,000 as well. That is the range that we are talking about. Because for some people, they understand कि trial is the thing जहाँ पे you are not just lining up trials to make money. You are making sure कि trial के बाद book हो and then your service is right. Then you can think of getting a good amount and making a profit or anything like that. But without that, just charging because the person is insecure or unsure about how the look is going to be at trial, so everyone is taking it very, very high. Every bride's demand is to take a trial. So फुल थिंग की चार्ज कर लेना वेडिंग भले ही तुम्हें एक ही नाम मिले बट देन व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज बस ट्रायल बुक करवाते जाओ और उसमें अपना चार्ज करवा दो भले ही मेकअप पसंद आए नहीं है and a lot of brides don't move forward with such proposals. So that's the use of the apart from that, the bridal trial cost I think should be affordable and just include the travel cost and the time that we have invested so that it's not like we are wasting the money. And it being adjusted And in the final phases, that is a complete choice that makeup artists have, and that's what they look for. Okay. The third question that we move forward with: when should I book my drive, and how many months before the wedding? So you should book your drive as soon as you get your body registered and your wedding appointment. These two steps are quite critical in the process because the location of the wedding is affected when the so that different categories a lot of people, for example, if you stay I am there before the time. But then they prefer taking a movie from their city rather than spending extra time. But for some people, it's like they are getting into the when their wedding anniversary is like before the so deciding the booking and where the wedding is going to happen is really useful. And the visa because you can start with your travel agent before booking before and I think you should wait till 6 months before booking because you need to finalize a lot of things. If you get your makeup artist booked before 8 to 10 days ahead, the very first thing he will be guiding you within about what kind of steps you should be taking in this investigation and what kind of nails will be put on you if they have any kind or the color combination. Yes, they have done or they have seen a lot of weddings during their career span. So they know exactly where you can get good things here and there, what would be some good locations where you can go and get things done quicker, faster, and at a more affordable price. So they help in budget, they help in jewelry, they help in analyzing which color what suits you best. They help you in making sure the whole look is executed in the right way. They guide you regarding your hairstyle, the hair color, the hair treatment, face, features, body skincare treatment. So all these things are covered if they become the bestie or the guide for the rest of your wedding part. And then it helps a lot in crafting your whole look. So suppose if you come just 15 days before, the majority of leads are booked, and even if they are running some monthly panel, which I don't recommend at all, but for your makeup artist, that is something that they need to be very careful. So what happens is they're jumping from one place to other picking things up, and that time the bills are mostly heavy. So then what happens is you have to make sure that the charges go high as the season comes nearer because everyone wants to get so bride will come out without getting the makeup done. So the charges go up to the first disadvantage after the season. If you are getting 3 days, 1 month, 2 months before the wedding, charges goes up. Most of the makeup artists don't have the bandwidth or availability because they are working before time. Then the problem you face is your lehenga is all messy, the color your jewelry is matching, which becomes unnecessary because what happens is makeup is not the only thing which creates the look. It's about the hair color you're getting, the hair length, the lehenga that you'll be wearing, the jewelry, and the light which reflects from that will be making your makeup look dull or good. If you are wearing indoor or outdoor, if it's outdoor, you should have gotten some good cream or some skincare routine followed up until now. If your skin is quite flaky or if it's too sweaty, that skin cannot be considered as makeup. That comes with the skincare or skin treatment part. And if you haven't taken care of that low amount of makeup, even if you go for Bridal foundation or your journey, no one is going to help you with that makeup thing because if your skin has the problem, makeup cannot come. ideally 6 to 8 months before. Next, we'll come to is it the full face trial and half face trial. Now, this is a very big decision. Is it a full face trial or not? Full face trial, you have to make sure that you are giving all going to that. So you have zero space for experimentation. You have to do the same eye makeup as the you have to I'll tell you some pros and cons of the full face. With full face trial, you get the idea of a look that lenses and lashes wouldn't be wouldn't stand. Your face wouldn't be going like your face wouldn't be. The items that will be placed on the wall or at the window. So even though if it's a full face trial, it is still be incomplete. And the disadvantage that you have with this is you will not be able to get two different IDs of controller. You will not be able to see whether they have matched your skin tone or a shade is fairer or darker. Have they been able to hide your pigmentation better or was your skin already light? With half face makeup, the biggest advantage that you get is you can try two different types of CSP product. You can take two different types of concealer. Although you can't take that outside of your room or outside of your makeup. But this is trial and you can get make sure that you get options for correction. From one eye, whatever you like the highlighter, the blushing, the base color, the shadow you want to add, something like you want to do the cut to do the that's the choice that you have to make. And we all get married in this time. So that's the thing. You have to make sure that you are happy with what's happening. So with half face trials, you get that amount of experimentation, which I do majority of the girls will love. So if you have an option to do for full face and half face trial, go for half face trial. A lot of new participants get to doing half face trial these days because that will showcase the mismatch with skin tone and foundation. But as in right, it's good. The fifth question that we need to consider is how long does the makeup time depends on which kind of trial and goes back a bit to the earlier question, which kind of trial you are. So suppose if you are taking a trial with full face of makeup, that would naturally take much more time. But it's approximately somewhere between 1.5 to 2 hours to 3 hours is what of trial would take. Now that is a lot for sitting and doing practice. That's what we're making sure that the one event you'll be doing, you'll be remembering for the rest of the life is your bit. And getting things right as long as possible. So make sure you're cleaning up your room. So make sure that you have the right solution if these topics interest you, you will try to get it should take time. You can let it start because you're not getting a trial with getting so we'll be doing 10 questions today. We've gone till the 5 to clear half made that for the life. The remaining half is something right. So the sixth question is what makeup brands do you use and are they suitable for this? So there is a lot of questions. This is probably the very first question that guys have which brand do you use and they said only the brand if we have the highest end brand then their makeup will be flawless. So let me ask you this. If you go to the most expensive restaurant or if you have been to the five-star or luxury compare the taste to the food because I have. If you compare the food taste of there to the street food that you get in or anywhere else. So what's the difference that you are able to obtain? You'll get the most hygienic food over there. But the that it would be serving the purpose better. Similar goes to makeup. Not all the high-end brands is what you need for your makeup, but what basically the makeup artist needs to have a good knowledge of the skin and needs to use the brands that will suit your skin. Now, suiting is not something which is random, but what skin type you have. Or do you have any skin condition? Are you going under a dermatologist? All these things do matter. If you are very carefully to know the product that you are how know the product are going to be. Also, the package you'll be selecting that also differs because if you're selecting the lowest end package, you'll not be getting the best look for it because everything comes in a box. And doesn't necessarily mean if you want the most highest speed in the package, you will be doing the best look for it. There is a lot of things which comes into play. The knowledge is there, the techniques are there, the experience is there, the professionalism is there. So all these things apart from makeup brands matter a lot more, up to 90%, and 10% is what using the makeup brand. In fact, I will tell you this. A makeup artist who is able to do good makeup with confidence with a brand which is averagely priced, is generally more experienced and has the best technical ability than the people who are hiding behind the name of makeup brand. So make sure that the experience, the technique, and the wavelength you match with the makeup artist matters a whole lot more than the product that they are using in the cost. Will your products cover my dark circles? Acne scars and pigmentation in the sensor. It depends on how deep your dark circles, acne scars and pigmentation are, and what kind of makeup look are you demanding. A very funny thing which happens these days is all the brides are for new, natural and no makeup look. But forgetting that they're idolizing the celebrities or the people who have done tons of skincare and skin treatment content, which without makeup don't have much of dark circles, acne scars, or pigmentation. But if you are a person, generally a lot of majority of the brides are working women. So due to longer working hours and the stress that they go through, having dark circles, acne scars, and pigmentation is very natural. And with that, what you require is a full coverage.